Welcome back to Soggy Garden Tour Saturday. It has rained since about 1 a.m. and made it pretty impossible to be out here to work, but I'm going to go out in the greenhouse and see what I can get done. Grandma Sandy is the host of Garden Tour Saturday, and her co-hosts are Suffolk Susie, Patricia N. Cube, and Growing on Vancouver Island. It's an open collaboration that anyone can join. Just use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday and let the hosts and co-hosts know so they can go over and watch your video. The herbal tea of the day is hibiscus and raspberry leaf. There's Smudge. How you doing, buddy? I know you don't like the rain any more than I do you? These guys are actually really good friends, Smudge and Lucy. Good sweeties. Oh my goodness. I know we really need the rain for all the bulbs and the bushes and everything that's growing right now. Because when it got hot for a couple days last week, things started to get really dry. The rain is helping my two rhubarbs do really well. And those flowers with the ucky sticks sticking out of them that I haven't trimmed yet, those are flowers from my mom's house called Golden Glow, and they're very old too. So I've got some heirloom things right in those 3 pots and right here in this bed. This rhubarb is over 60 years old. It's only 42 degrees outside at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's definitely still spring. It's only about 52 degrees here in the greenhouse. It is so comforting to come in here and sit down, especially when I have somebody home in the house. That makes it even more fun for me. Lots of things are growing, and as I said, I'm running out of room. But I think Tuesday the greenhouse will be here. Then we have to clear the spot and put the thing together. So when it'll get done is anybody's guess. We really needed to get some potatoes planted today. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. I'm going to have to keep the pressure on myself and keep potting up my tomatoes. There's that many. But luckily, it's something that I enjoy. So I just put in a little bit of Garden Tome organic all-purpose fertilizer in my lovely soil mixture that I'm very happy with. And then finish filling it up and then water it. So we have plenty of water. And then use the dipper to make a little hole for the roots. I'm still working on carbon tomatoes, which are a lovely dark red, maybe even verging on purple tomato. Big round beefsteak indeterminate. And I'm still working on a Blinken. That is a old standby. It's a red, large, indeterminate beefsteak tomato. Wonderful, wonderful tomatoes. Here's my little bunch of roots. This is a Blinken. They're not looking very good on the tips. I'll take off the little seed casing there. And we are going to get them in their own cups with some fertilizer and better soil and lots of room for their roots to grow because they were too crowded in their little cups. And then they will do a lot better. It takes them about a week or so at least to establish some roots and catch on. But then they seem to take off. I try not to start planting any seeds in January except for pepper seeds because they seem to take so long to germinate. But I can't usually control myself until February. But if you think about it, it takes that long for me to plant and then pot up all the tomato varieties that I have. And as I revealed in a video 2 or 3 times ago, I have 74 varieties this year. Even though we're running out of room, there's still a few scant places on the floor, and maybe one over there if I move all my stuff off, that we can put trays. I need to get some more trays ordered today, and then hopefully by Tuesday it won't be too long until we have the greenhouse put together and put up. I have found out that I need to be more careful because it's been really cold and damp the last few days, but before that there was 3 warm days, and it got probably into low 80s in this greenhouse. I almost lost a couple of tomato plants over there. I think they'll come back. I'm not sure. I hope so. I know you're saying in your head, you have so many tomato plants, you can spare 1 or 2. This is true. This is really true. But nonetheless, I don't want any of them to die if I can avoid it. I've potted up all sorts of them. Some chocolate sprinkles parent, chocolate sprinkles, Aunt Ruby's German green, Abe Lincoln, carbon tomato, Paul Robeson, and I still have a whole bunch more to pot up. I'm really going to need that greenhouse as soon as we can manage it, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's another overcast, rainy day. I know that it's watering the grass, the trees, the shrubs, the bulbs, my rhubarb, everything else, the peas that I planted. So I'm going to be grateful for that. And it is at the end of March, so that does help. All of those things combined, even on a rainy, overcast day. There's Lucy going off on her rounds, going to see what's going on. So I'm going to get back to potting up. If you remember from a video before, I had started these sun gold cherries, but I had started them back in at least June, May, June, something like that last year. I don't know why I did. I think it's because I didn't have the seed and I wanted to try to get some that year, and of course it didn't work. But I've been nursing these along. I've lost 1 or 2 here or there, and they're starting to get really leggy. So that can become a problem. So what we're going to do is take them out of this cup. You see how leggy it's getting? And I just removed all the lower foliage. And we're going to put it in a gallon-sized pot. So I'm just going to fill that up. Put some of my trusty Garden Tone fertilizer in it. Shake it up. Put a little more dirt over it. And I'm going to leave a little well so I can put this whole clump of dirt, the whole root system and everything in without trying to disturb the roots. And I'm going to tickle the roots just the tiniest bit and set them down in there as far as I can. There we go. And I'm going to water it in. And then fill it up with more dirt. So that is potting up a tomato that's really getting too big and too leggy for the time period that we have. This is the 29th of March, and we cannot plant outside for at least another 6 more weeks. So some of these tomatoes are going to give me a run for my money, and maybe it's not going to work. No harm, no foul. We will just put it in the compost. But meanwhile, I am potting them up, pressing the roots down as far as I can, watering them with the wonderful yeast fertilizer, courtesy of Krista at Almost Off-Grid Grandma. And then we're just going to see how they're doing. I'm going to have to find a space for them where they can get taller. It may not work. but I'm going to do my best with this. I'm going to do the same thing. Fill the pot up about halfway. Put in some organic fertilizer. Stir it up. Make a little hole in there and water it. And this one is even worse than the other one. So I think this one has less of a chance of making it through. But I am going to take off all this bottom greenery because you don't want to plant that under the soil. And we're going to try to get this one down even deeper, I hope. Get all the little green things off. Okay, so we have that off. You dump the cup upside down and wiggle it like this a bit. And there. You see how it comes out? I'm going to take a little bit of this dirt off and try not to upset the roots too much. And we're going to place this right down in there. Push it down as much as we can. Be careful of it. And then fill it up with some more lovely potting soil. Kind of tamp it down a little bit as you go. This one is going to have to be staked already, just because it's going to grow much taller. Now I could keep doing this and trying to keep these plants alive, but I would have to go up to a 2-gallon pot, a 3-gallon pot, and on until we're able to plant these out. So you can continue to keep these growing plants alive, but you have to increase the size of the pot. So this is a 1-gallon pot, and it's barely the right size for this guy right now. And so then we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll keep it staked up, and we will see how it goes. So I have a stake. There's a bamboo stake. And then I'm going to get some jute and cut several different pieces from it and loosely tie up that tomato plant so that it has support. And I try to take my twine like that and take one side in and take one side over here and tie it in a very loose knot, because you don't want to have it tight because it will cut your vine. So I just take the jute like this, put one side through, keep the other side, and tie a loose knot. That way it has support. It's going to do a lot better. This one doesn't have a label, so I will make a label up for it. And there we go. I've got a label for it. I have a stake support for it. I have removed the greenery, the leaves from here down. You never want to have the leaves touching the soil, and definitely not under the soil. I have fertilized it and I've watered it with yeast fertilizer, so I think it stands a pretty good chance. So we will just have to see. I'm going to add a stake for support for this tomato as well, because it's really starting to grow crooked. So do your little knot through and tie a knot. Make sure it's loose so it has room. Take your jute, go like this, take one end through, and tie a very loose knot. That way it'll give it support, but yet give it freedom to grow. You don't want those vines being cut by the jute. So there you go. As you can see, the bulbs are doing really, really well with the rain and the cold temperatures. But I can't really do much gardening outside at all. I have the peas planted, and they will be okay. But we really have to watch anything else that we might put out there. We're going to try to put out the potatoes, and we've got them cut apart, and they've already scabbed over. So they are ready to go in today. I've got the blood meal, bone meal, general purpose organic fertilizer. I was going to use a little bit of Epsom salt and wood ash. Also, I was going to throw in some of the eggshell. It's ground really, really fine, to see if that would help amend and improve the soil. Last year we did not do well with potatoes at all. I watched Diana's video this morning, Diana's homestead, and she was planting her potatoes, and she gave me all sorts of wonderful tips and tricks. So I want to give a shout out to her. Thanks, Diana. I really appreciate all you guys. I watch your videos. I write things down. I really do learn from you, and I just want to thank you for that. I hope that you've had a really wonderful day. It's about 3 hours later back east, so if it's 2:30 or 3 here, then you're pushing 6 o'clock there. So maybe your work day's over. If you've got good weather, then it won't be. I hope you have a nice time this weekend. Try to relax, be with friends and family, be around people you love, and do things that you love. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.